stepping off the rooftop and landing in the alley below. Obsidian stalked along the edge like a cat on the prowl, watching the young disciple slip along the alley. Gemma made her way through the streets, tucking a strand of black hair behind her ear, and flashing a wicked smile at a man who tripped over his feet when he saw her. In the murky London afternoon, that smile brightened the day. She would never be the most beautiful woman in the room, her chin a little too pointed to be classically handsome, and her pillow-shaped mouth too full for the current fashion. But she was eye-catching in a way no other woman could compete with. Vibrancy flowed through every inch of her body, and she made a man feel alive just looking at her. Every glance from those hot-lashed eyes seemed like she'd just thrown down a gauntlet. "Try and take me, if you dare." For a second, Obsidian paused, his gaze drawn to her smile. Colour vanished from his vision, the world bleeding into shades of black and white as the hunger roused within him, and his heart gave a shuddering pulse. He wanted to dare. He wanted his hands on her, his lips and teeth skating over that creamy skin. He wanted to slam her back against a wall and capture that lying little mouth and make a ruin of her prim gown. He'd never felt like this before, at least as far as he could recall, and the reckless desire chafed at him. Why her? Why did his inner darkness stir whenever he thought of her? "Because she's mine," whispered the darkness within him. Then she was gone, and Langley scurried to the edge of the alley, as if to make his move. Obsidian stepped off the edge of the roof, gravity catching hold of him. He landed in the alley lightly, his knees bending to absorb the blow, and the long edges of his great cloak flaring out around him like wings. Langley spun around, relief flooding his expression when he saw who it was. "Bloody hell, Obsidian, you nearly scared 3 years off my life." "Apologies." Obsidian straightened and strode toward him as Langley visibly relaxed. He barely knew the disciple. They were all merely cannon fodder, created for the Master's purposes from the ranks of Lord Balfour's former falcons. Spies and assassins once, they served the same role now. They were a little harder to kill, and far more bloodthirsty with the transition. "Are you here to observe whether I pass my test or not?" Langley sneered a little. "A bitch might have eluded the other assassin sent to kill her, but I assure you, I shall not fail." That's right. This one thought highly of himself. "No." Obsidian lunged forward, burying his blade right in the centre of the other Dampier's chest. Langley never even saw it coming. Clamping a hand over the other Dampier's mouth to silence any sounds of the skirmish, he swung behind him, wrenching Langley's head up to reveal his vulnerable throat. Langley struggled, his dark red-black blood gushing over Obsidian's gloves, as he yanked his knife up until it met Langley's sternum. There were many things a Dampier could survive. You needed to cut out their heart to be absolutely certain the evolved craving virus wouldn't reanimate them. A choking sound vibrated in Langley's throat as his flailing hand landed on Obsidian's arm, struck him again, finally clutched at his sleeve as if to beg for mercy. "Shh," Obsidian whispered, drawing the other man back into his embrace. "It will all be over soon." He made certain of it. Langley's hand fell from his sleeve, his weight suddenly slumping against Obsidian as his knife macerated the other Dampier's heart. The breath wheezed out of Langley's lungs. "My apologies," he whispered in the young Dampier's ear as he lowered the body to the ground. "But Gemma Townsend is mine." If anyone was going to kill her, it was going to be him. The woman who called herself Gemma Townsend had the feeling she was being followed. A curious incident, for she herself was following someone. And yet the familiar prickle of being watched itched the back of her neck, and all her senses were on high alert. A spy being spied upon.